Welcome to the Configure Price Quote Podcast. My name is Frank Sohn and I'm the founder of CPQ Consulting. This podcast is 100% focused on Configure Price Quote, also known as CPQ, and will provide you useful insights into this topic. My guest today is Stanislav Chirk, founder of Raising Sun, an EU-based AI solutions company building custom AI agents and tools for B2B companies. Stan has a background in marketing, growth, and product, and has been building agentic AI solutions since 2022. His company focuses on one clear principle: no AI for the sake of AI. Every solution has to close a measurable operational gap before it's scaled. One of their flagship products, Talkulate AI CPQ, is directly relevant to our audience. It guides buyers through complex product configurations on a company's website and delivers instant, accurate quotes without an engineer in the loop. I invited Stan because this sits right at the intersection of CPQ and agentic AI, and I think his perspective will challenge a few assumptions. Welcome to the CPQ Podcast, Stan.
Hi, Frank. Hi, listeners.
Hey, I'm very excited to have you, Stan. Before we get into Raising Sun, give us a quick picture of your background. Where did you start and how did you end up building AI solutions?
That's tricky questions because I would say there are two secret ingredients in my sauce. First of all, I'm Ukrainian, and as all Ukrainians, we are a little bit universal and flexible. Forge of software engineering in the whole world and good drones, but not at all. But I would say it's because of interesting mix of engineering and entrepreneurship. And second part, because I have a lot of background between engineering, product engineering, and commercial part like marketing and sales. And CPQ, that's like a common path between these two.
And what surprised me here is like that this is what you just said is not the typical founder story for an AI company, right? So, and I was wondering, how did that shape the way, your background, how did that shape the way you think about building these products?
I don't know why, but you decided because first of all, I am a computer science engineer. And secondly, I am an entrepreneur. So I can build, I can talk about what I build, I can talk with customers what they want. And that's like a common mix, common ground for this law.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit more about Raising Sun, right? So what is it built for? What kind of company do you typically work with? And what problems are they stuck on before they find you?
I would say acronym, for instance, categorization from U Combinator. You probably heard about AI-native companies.
Yeah.
And I built this company like AI first native company. What does it mean? A lot of startups, a lot of companies who label it .ai in their own name and decided that these companies are like AI native. I put it AI in the middle of name, my company. And due to this reason, we are building AI solutions, AI first solutions, not just adding AI to something. We are building the whole business process from scratch to the end.
And tell me a little bit more about the company. Is it just you at this point? You have a couple of employees who help you develop this, and where are they located?
Behind the name, there are 4 engineers and I, and we are located in the European Union, so I can Poland.
Excellent. So what does Raising Sun, and raising is also it's AI in the name, right? So you have that right in there. What does it actually deliver, right? So you have ready-made agents, you have custom builds, you do consulting, and how do these three offerings fit together for you?
Mm-hmm. Our target audience is mid-sized companies, and because these companies doesn't have in their own state AI leads or something else, we are aiming to solve their problem, first of all. Their problem not like SaaS or something else. Their first problem, knowledge, education, and building the proper solution to cover their gap in their own business processes. And current situation on the market shows that we are on the right way because, AI-native companies, that's not about building something and scaling That's like custom as a service.
And let me ask one thing just to clarify. When you say mid-sized company, what size are you talking about? Is that number of employees, number of annual revenue? What is a mid-sized company? And also in addition to that, are you focusing on specific industries?
I'd say that's like matrix of AI readiness because not each company, according to size or enterprise companies, are ready to implement AI solutions. And according to size, I would say that's like from 50 employees up to 100 because after this number, we can see their own IT departments, AI departments. So according to industries, I don't know why, but medical and bioengineering loves my company, and right now we are signing the contract about implementation AI CPQ in the medical laboratory.
Okay, so in preparation for the podcast, I was also looking at your website, right? And it says there you stop a project at the prototype stage if KPIs are not met. Is that a bold commitment, or what KPIs are you checking? How does it work in practice?
I would say that's consequence according to our target audience because mid-sized companies are looking for solving their problems, not like typical tools. We should solve this problem, and if we cannot solve the problem, how we can make agreement, how we build something or something else. And according to this statement, I would say, first of all, we inserted this into contracts. We split our process into phases, and if we cannot reach KPIs into these phases, we stop it really. And I stopped two projects previously.
That's a bold statement. That's very good. So, but that also begs the question: how does a typical project for you look like right now? I mean, the company is still pretty new, so I'm not sure how typical is in this context, right? So, but so far, when you run a project, how tell us a little bit about the different process steps that you're walking through with your customers.
I'd say that's a little bit fast and furious because in 1 week, like discovery phase, typically we are aiming to achieve two options. First of all, understand the real problem, understand the real data because you now miss out. And according to this statement, this practice, we should totally understand not only what the people say, but a real picture
Okay,
to digitalize this.
let me chime in here, Stan. So just to understand, so then you have
Huh?
an on-site workshop to do that with a customer, or you do that all remote?
We do this all remote, and I cannot name this like workshop. This like discovery phase kind of big four consulting group. So we're totally into the business process with client.
Okay, excellent. So that's first. That's but what do you deliver within this 1 week? So or in the first week you understand the problem really, right? So then
Yeah,
what
we are
happens?
understanding the problem, we are understanding the data, and we are ready to prepare the data into structuring formats, like for instance, databases, graphs, and so on, so on, so on. And after first week, we have first like POC to show not like typical chatbots or something else. We are ready to show the client first solution for them. So according to CPQ, that's like we are understanding the sales process. We know mandatory questions, we know optional questions, we know typical flow according to gathering the product from the parts and so on.
And then when as the customer able to go live with the product that you've set up for them, you have a timeline that you typically hit.
Yeah, our borderline produced 3-5 about I would say 3-5 weeks, and that's I would say solid statement, but it's real because thanks for modern technologies, you don't need to have a big team, for instance, 20 people for each project.
And let me ask one question because that comes up with lots of folks I talk to, right? Especially CPQ is a deterministic solution, right? So you need to know every time what's coming out of this, right? So one and one is always two. So how do you prevent the AI from coming up with stuff, right? So and even if it's just in 1% of the cases.
Frank, I disagree about the deterministic where totally because CPQs, that's why combination of sales, because we need to understand what a customer really needs. And I would say that's chaotic part, not totally deterministic. And second part, of course, that's about gathering the product, gathering the bill of materials and something else. And yes, I agree, this is a deterministic part. And if you are talking about AI gathering, the bomb or something else, we should consider one point because we are working not with the documents, we are working with structured database from the phase one. We are not grazing, we are not trying to reinvent something. We just like in the supermarket, gathering from the shelf, company A, company B, C, and so on, so on, so on. And we know the rules. We have guardrails across the AI solution, quasi code. That's not rocket science to gather something together and validate this.
Okay, then let's look. So you're based in Slovakia, right? So and you
Yeah,
serve EU and US clients. That's correct, right? So
yeah.
does geography matter for your kind of AI work that you do concerning compliance, data residency, and hosting?
Totally no, because first of all, Anthropic company, I would say you should know this. Two superstars from this company. Yeah, first of all, Boris Chorny is Ukrainian scientist, and Andrew Karpathy is Slovakian scientist. So we are a little bit conquer your continent.
Okay, so we already talked about how quickly you go from go live to being in production. That was up to 5 weeks, right? So if I
Yeah.
understood that correctly, so that's really fast. Do you already have customers that you use at your events that talk about their experience with you?
Yeah, I have currently three India customers and signing contract with fourth one in medical industry. So I would say we are on the right direction. Unfortunately, without venture capital, just bootstrapped company. But anyway, I would say I'm planning up to 20 companies as a clients at the end of this year.
Yeah. And then also one good question that you brought up, right? So concerning investor money, did you already receive anything? You're planning to raise anything?
I don't cancel this idea, but I'm not in the negotiation stage right now because we are a bootstrap company and need to achieve good traction to pitch it on the solid ground. I know about one player on the same market who recently raised more than 25 million investments in the United States in May. Cool guys, cool traction, cool round, of course. I'm aiming a little bit lower or probably M&A.
Then let's talk about your product, right? So Talkulate AI CPQ. That's your product that's most relevant to our audience here at the CPQ podcast, right? In plain terms, what does it do that a traditional CPQ configurator does not do?
Can you gather for clients who said, I need a home media library server just in 15 minutes, full blown without working like ping pong after meetings and so on, so on, so on. I probably would say you cannot do it.
Okay. Well, so that's what you think is the differentiator for your solution.
Yeah, full service, self-service, and you can put our application on your own website. And you can increase conversion not only according to sales, but you can increase your conversion into leads 5 weeks times. Why? Because 26 years is agentic year. People look something across agentic AI. People search products and services across agentic where via ChatGPT or Gemini or code or something else. And we can work with this.
If your company is evaluating CPQ and you're not sure which vendors are actually worth your time, try the free Novo CPQ briefing match app. You answer a few questions about your business and requirements, and it gives you a more focused starting shortlist of relevant CPQ solutions. It's meant to save time, reduce noise, and make early CPQ research a lot easier. Go to novuscpq.com and click on the CPQ Podcast page to find it. But also for customer, how much do they need to know in order to use and understand and afterwards also maintain your solution on an ongoing basis?
We have two options. First of all, we have supporting subscription to work together in long-term period. And second option, according to full on-prem solution. And I would say that's not rocket science. It's easy to use because we have fully prepared documentation. We have fully prepared microservices to handle with this.
Excellent. Then I would say let's walk us through a real scenario, right? Let's say ideally the server reseller case or something similar, right? A buyer lands on your client's website with a vague request, right? So show us step by step what happens, how the AI collects requirements, how it validates against the product catalog, and how a quote is generated without the salesperson or pre-sales engineer involved. Everyone who's interested in seeing how the solution actually works should have a quick look at YouTube, because Stan was kind enough to record a quick demo that we published here that shows how a typical use case works in his solution, right? So now we're back, and I hope you had the chance to see that on YouTube. Stan, tell me a little bit more. How do customers, how are they expected to maintain the solution over time?
If you are talking about just product line updating according to, for instance, new companies or new pricing or so on, it doesn't require any editing on the CPQ side because just database updating from your PIM or ERP or whatever data sources. If we talk about working with logic, for instance, or you decided to switch your pre-sales questions or something else, you can do this from admin panel because that's not rocket science. If you are about to handle something complex, adding new product lines, for instance, previously you sold only cars and you wanted to add, I don't know, motorcycles, for instance, and with completely different logic, you need to hire as developers to help you. If you have our own on-premise version of solution, you could do it alone.
Excellent. So now, if customers want to learn more about your solution, what's typically the best way? Where should they go? They go to the website, right? So, but are you also going to any industry events where they could potentially meet you and see the solution in action?
I would say the best way to be acknowledged about solution is the website because we are fully transparent. We have a lot of information prepared for human and AI agents according to functionality, pricing, typical questions, and so on, so on, so on. I would say more the whole market because typically that you can see like one pager about main idea without any details. We are not adepts of this approach, and we get a lot of information before the.
Okay. So then I would say then let's talk a little bit about the capabilities, right? So the product configurator itself. What's important for customers to know about the product configurator that you have?
According capabilities, I would say the main point, not according to technical part, it's according to business, according to your trust, because AI first solutions, that's, I would say, something fresh, new. Sometimes it can be a little bit unstable. Sometimes it can be a little bit with different logic that you solved before. And that's a question not about technician, how to build or prepare something. It's how to choose one, because if you are choosing AI first solutions, you need not only implement this into your stack, you need re-implement this into your business process. You should change this.
Yeah, yeah. Anything special to know about the pricing engine that you have and the pricing logic that you're capable to handle?
In my opinion, that's like something boring and not totally reconciled because if we are talking about pricing, what we are talking about, we typically talking about sales discount. That's just matrix about, for instance, your tiers, geography, or grade, or something else, or about your product bundles. So for me, that's like yet another database in a solution, not something special.
Okay, any other capabilities that you can think of in connection with CPQ where you want to say what's special about your solution, what's different about it?
We currently don't aim to stabilize the product like box solution because we are totally into flexibility, product market fit. It means, for instance, you can convert this like from lead capture only to full quote to cash. Of course, it requires coding, but you can connect it to Stripe on your own billing platform. You can connect this with your sales revenue engine, not only CRM, but according to modern AI engines, it could be like email marketing inbound or something else.
Excellent. All very interesting, but unfortunately, we're coming to the end of this episode. Hence, my last question. What's the best way for interested listeners to contact you and to learn more about your solution?
You can reach out a lot of info about solution on website. You can contact me on LinkedIn or so website, and we are rapid. So let's connect and talk.
Excellent. We will have all this information as always in the show notes. Stan, thank you very much for making time for the CPQ podcast today.
Thanks.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening and hope you learned something interesting today. If you like the podcast, please go ahead and rate it on iTunes or share it with your friends and colleagues. In the meantime, you can find us online at www.novocpq.com. So long, everyone.